Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and we are now going to go ahead and UV map our low poly laser weapon. So let's go ahead and get started. So you can see we've got our laser weapon. We need to go ahead and separate all the pieces. So you can just go to mesh separate. So go ahead and do that. And what we need to do now is select everything, and we need to make sure we're in poly modeling and click on center pivot. Okay, we also want to go ahead and delete by type history and freeze transformations on all those. So if we hit the W key, we can see that we've got a pivot point in the center. All right, that's important. So right now we're just going to do one at a time. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to get everything unwrapped. And it's going to be fairly easy, but we'll just go ahead and do one at a time, and we'll do Control 1 to isolate that. We're going to do it in a perspective view, and what we want to do is we want to cut these apart. We're not going to go ahead and just automatic map this, so I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to go into edge mode. And it looks like I have the B key on, so I'm going to hit the B key until that goes away. And we're going to go to UV, and we're going to go to 3D cut and sew UV tools. So we're going to cut UVs. Okay. Now you can see we have UVs on here, so I really don't want to start with UVs on. So I'm going to hit the Q key and go back into object mode. And then we're going to click on UV, and we're going to click on planar. We're going to go ahead and select the Z axis as a planar map, and just click on project. We're not going to use it. We just want to add it so we don't have any cuts or UV seams in here when we start. So I'm going to go back into selection mode. I should get rid of that manipulator, and then I'm going to right click and go to edge mode and go back to UV, 3D cut and sew UV tool. This allows me to go ahead and cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut right down the center. We're going to do this for everything that we do. We're going to cut right down the center, and we're going to lay this thing flat. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right here and right here. I'm going to hold down the shift key and go down the object like this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut around the center. Now we're going to do the center for everything. We're going to cut around the center of this object here. And I can hit the F key to kind of center that so I can focus around that object. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a cut. And we'll cut those areas there like that. Okay. And we're going to go up on all the corners. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to go up on all the corners. Okay. And looks like we're going to do this corner right here and right here. I'm not quite sure about this corner right here. I don't know if we're going to need to do that. So we got that corner all the way up around. And we're going to do this area right here. And that goes all the way across. And then we've got this piece right here. And just kind of looking at what we have here. And we're going to do this piece right here all the way around. And this piece right here. And is there anything else we need to do? So that's the top part, the bottom part. That goes all the way around. And then we cut the bottom off. And we've cut the top off. So I think that might work. I think we might have some issues down here. I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to have to cut probably this one right here that goes across that, and maybe this one here. I don't know about that. We'll see how it lays out. But that might, yeah, I think the rest will be okay. Okay, it's kind of an odd shape, so we'll see how it goes and see if it lays out okay. But that looks pretty good, and that's about it. That's all you have to do, and you're gonna hit the Q key, and you're gonna go to selection mode, and we are gonna go to UV editor. Okay, you can see here's our piece. Okay, this is what it looks like. It remembers what we did with the planar mapping, so that's what it kind of looked like. We're going to go to unfold, and we're going to click on arrange and layout. So under unfold, I'm going to click on unfold, and it unfolds all the pieces. And then I'm going to go ahead and set this up to let's see, to do the layout properly. Packing resolution is 4096. Okay, and then we've got 20 by 20. We're not really, we're going to do UDIM tiles, of course, but we're not going to set that up yet. And we're going to click on layout UVs. There we go. And so it does the best it can laying out those UVs, okay, which isn't that great, but I'm going to click on UV shell. I'm going to click on unfold, and everything looks good. I'm going to click on optimize. Everything looks good. So we're going to go to shell, and we're going to select the shell, and we're going to orient the shell, and then orient the shell, and orient the shell, and just kind of orient these shells. There we go. And of course we can pack this any way we like. I don't really like that shell going that way, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate around there like that. And we'll just go the opposite on this side. I'm going to click on orient shell. Once I get it started, it should properly arrange it. There we go. And let's go ahead and orient that. And then we're going to orient the rest of the stuff here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, then we're just going to place all this stuff in here like this. And we have to kind of be careful about going outside the border edges. Super careful. All right, so let's kind of lay this out. We just want to give the object some space. Okay. When that's done, I'm going to go ahead and just move that over to the side, and we'll just continue laying out the UDIM tiles with each piece. All right, so I'm going to move this. I'm going to go ahead and close that. This one's done. So now I'm going to go to Control 1, open everything back up again. There we go. And the next thing we're going to do is this one right here. So go into object mode. And once I do, I go ahead and UV map one of them. I'm going to go ahead and delete the history. Okay, I'm going to go back into here, do Control 1, and you're going to do the exact same thing to this. So I'm going to go to edge mode. I'm going to go into UV, and let's go ahead and do a planar, or yeah, planar mapping. Same thing. This one didn't take. Let me try to go in here, and we need to be in object mode. I guess that's what it's crying about. So it needs to be in object mode too. And then once we do that, it's good. So hit the Q key again. Go into selection mode, and now we're gonna go ahead and start cutting those seams. Go to edge mode and go to UV, 3D cut and sew UV. Again, same exact thing. You're just gonna cut. Now the reason why I don't do automatic mapping is because it may not do these bevels very well, and that tends to be a real problem with some of this stuff. So I've got to just do this by hand. Yeah, it takes longer. It's not that tough to do. It's just, you know, time consuming. But we need to get it done. We have to do the inside pieces here, so that's important. So I'm going to go in here and do this one and do the inside one. Okay. And let's do this corner over here. That should take care of that. And let's see, down at the bottom here, we've got some stuff we got to do. Just kind of add those edge loops. And underneath. And then we're going to go ahead and go to this side over here. I think we're good there. Need to add this. There we go. And do across the top. Did I do this side? I don't think I did this side, so I'm going to do that and this. And let's see. Probably need to make sure I don't go all the way across here, so I'm going to hold the control key down and deselect that. Let's try to do that again. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Looks like it did what it's supposed to do. Okay, that across there. And we got across there. And we went too far here. So I'm going to hold the control key. And it keeps going across. Let me go back, control shift C. Okay. Oh, don't want to do that. I'm going to go across here. So I'm going to click on this one. It's not selecting it. Not close enough, I guess. We're going to click on this one here. Okay. And then we're going to go all the way around. And sometimes you got to do this, get it right, and then double click on this one right here. There we go. All right, so I think we have it all laid out. If not, it will let you know because the layout won't look good. Now this is kind of an strange little curve here, but let's see what happens and see if it lays it out. All right, so I'm going to hit the Q key. We're all done. Go to selection mode, and we're going to go into UV editor. And here's the piece that we did as a planar map. And we're going to click on unfold. That looks good. And I'm going to select all the shells. We're going to let Maya see what it can do with layout. So click on layout. And that's not too bad. But I think we need to orient the shells again. Let's just move those out a little bit, like that. That's not really the way I want it to go. So let's get that where it was. It kind of does an angle like that, which kind of, I think it's kind of weird, but anyway. I'm going to rotate that. It's fairly flat. And just lay these down. Let's go ahead and orient that one. This one, let's go orient the rest of these guys here. Rotate this way. All right, so let's move that in the middle. Move this one down. And move this one up. So I think you guys get the idea. You guys can go on your own and do your own thing. I'm going to continue, and we're just going to move this one to the third one. Like that. Since we know something's in the second one. So go ahead and select that. And before I go any farther, I'm going to go ahead and do a Control 1 and save my work. And we will come back with the next video on continuing UV mapping this laser weapon. All right, I'll see you then.